All right, what is good, guys? Sunday night, heading into a new week, so clearing my chart. We're on the 4-hour Us30 chart, and going to really map out some key levels, kind of show you what I'm looking for, and show you what I'm anticipating to see as far as price break at certain levels, maybe some potential targets. Again, I don't trade on Mondays, but this is going to probably be my weekly chart breakdown, and really probably following these levels most likely along the week until we kind of either create some new levels or maybe break back up down below, and we'll kind of go from there. But overall, going to map out some key levels on the 4-hour, and if you watched last week's video, we pretty much held suit all week and used those same levels I broke down, didn't change a single thing, and we had a really successful week. So I figured I'd kind of hop in, do the same thing, clear the chart, and again, map out some key levels. So right off the bat, just going to map out some of these zones and look at for what price should potentially do to the top side, right? It's Sunday, so again, you have this firm resistance here previously on those all-time high pushes. Price is kind of holding bullish, right? But we'll see what Monday brings. And in my opinion, if we start trading above, kind of going into Monday, we have a pretty high probability of tapping into that next zone to the top side, which gives you that nice roughly 200 pip move depending on where you catch it and depending on that retracement. So going to kind of continue to map out some key zones in my opinion that we're going to look for price to either break or hold support at to either the top side or to the downside, right? We don't have any further data above this, so again, break above, we'll be looking for maybe that retest for that continuation up, or if that bearish pressure kind of begins to kind of come into play, looking for that resistance kind of right where we're trading for that potential move down back to here, which is that nice higher time frame support. So again, mapping out some key levels, in my opinion, that I'll be watching most this week. And again, what we're really looking at here is what price has previously done at the break of these levels. And we're also going to keep some higher time frame fibs in play as far as what we could see price kind of retrace back into. And what you'll end up kind of seeing is some of these higher time frame levels will really fall suit in some of these higher time frame fibs as well. So I kind of don't keep that too much in check. As far as mapping out these levels, I look at these levels as more of a strong either support or resistance, and then really looking at how prices previously reacted at the break or holding support at those zones. Again, looking to the left here, kind of that move we caught on Friday, we had this clean break of structure here, which was kind of that last hope on that lower time frame or higher time frame fib as that pull up broke above, and we tapped into that zone flawlessly that we were targeting. Kind of holding that same exact idea into play this week, really looking at how price either reacts to the break of these zones or at the support of these zones. So right off the bat, these are most likely going to be my levels I'll be focusing on for this week. So kind of just going to draw some zones up. Again, I draw zones to kind of give me that little bit more confluence and a little bit more of an area to work with. Again, super raw video, but just me kind of clearing it up. And if you pause the video, you can see where these zones are. Again, all this is done on the 4-hour. And encourage you to watch last Monday. I think it was either Sunday or Monday's video last week. Did the same thing, cleared the chart, mapped out these levels, and we held these levels all week long, executed along them the whole way. Again, doesn't have to be flawless, but these are overall the ideas and zones we'll be looking at. So what's going to happen here is we're going to dive in on the lower time frame, and you're going to really look at how price has reacted at the break or the resistance of these zones, right? On the lower time frame, you'll see a little bit more ideas to why I draw a little bit more of a zone than kind of just keeping a horizontal line. Again, just this random zone right here in the middle, you see that break of structure to that retest for that continuation down. You see this this support kind of being held too. You see that break of structure kind of fail, and then that retest for that continuation down. Again, break above, that retest for that continuation up. Tapping into this zone, heavy level resistance. And then when you see price break above this resistance here, same zone we executed on Friday, you see that pullback to retest that zone for that continuation up. And what we're seeing here now is that resistance on the lower time frame. And then when you dive in on the 4-hour, that resistance we're currently at is this higher time frame level resistance before we create another all-time high. So again, looking at how price has previously reacted on the higher time frames and then really making sure it follows suit on the lower time frames. So if you can pause the video, you can see where these zones are actually priced out on TradingView. And let's kind of hop into my overall thoughts for this week. We'll hop in on the 1 hour. My overall thoughts for Monday. So again, I think following this bullish trend, looking for that break of structure, that retest, for that continuation to target these all-time high levels, right? I think that makes a lot of sense. I think the bullish pressure's there. But again, if we see this actual zone start to be rejected and not being able to really break above, or if we see price begin breaking above and trading above, and then we have NYSE come in tomorrow, and you see price clearly break through back down this structure, that same move, but to the bottom side, right? You break a structure to the bottom, to that retest for that continuation up. I think that makes a lot of sense. And again, looking at the higher time frame, what you're going to see here is it follows suit, right? You have that resistance here. That next zone we target's right here. Again, up here we do break above, and then when we break back down, we target this exact area. So keeping that in mind, those will be my first two ideas kind of heading into tomorrow's session. Again, I don't trade on Mondays, so those are my ideas I'm leaving with you guys. We'll be live Tuesday morning. So those are kind of my first two thoughts, would be to target those two areas. Another key thing is you really want to see the overall distance in between some of these levels, right? It's about 190 pips right here to the top side. And about 150, 160 to the bottom side. Those are some areas you should be able to clearly tap into before price would retrace to your actual entry or where price broke structure. Again, we're going off previous market structure, following the trend of the market overall, which currently is bullish, but flipping that if price does flip bearish and following that overall momentum. Again, all this is done on the 4-hour, and we're looking for that key market structure, which I've mapped out here. These are my zones I'll be focusing on. And a couple people have asked me, when am I implementing a fib? Implementing a fib at the break of market structure, right? We took this kind of impulse entry here at the retest, but overall you could actually ended up executing at this pull down on the 5-minute, right? You have this beautiful fib right here. Structural low, structural high, 618. That could have been your entry to target that zone. Again, you're already breaking structure, waiting for that retracement after the break of structure for the continuation of that overall move. Keeping previous market structure in mind, that's highly anticipated as far as what price should have done. Same thing will follow suit to the bottom side, right? Let's dive in on the 15-minute. And looking at that break of structure to the bottom side, right? If we see price could begin to slowly drift down, waiting for that price to pull down, either retest or form a lower time frame fib for that continuation of that overall move. So going into Monday, I think these are two really key and good ideas we could watch into. Again, both should probably fall suit. if we see that bullish momentum continue, looking for that break of structure right here, kind of where we're currently trading, for that retest, for that continuation to target all-time high levels. Same thing to the bottom. We're looking at the break of structure here, clear break of structure for that retest, either retesting that break or retesting a lower fib retracement to target this overall zone. So going into Monday, I don't trade Mondays. I don't like to trade Mondays, so I start my weeks off every Tuesday live with everybody in here, 9 a.m. Well, I'll send over a fresh analysis going into tomorrow night for Tuesday. But overall, I wanted to hop in, kind of do a random raw video, me clearing the chart, mapping out some key levels, and focusing on previous market structure, the overall trend, and really following the overall momentum of that session. Overall, look forward to crushing this week with everybody in here. I think last week was beautiful. Had a really, really clean week. A couple little choppy losses, but managed risks along the way. Secured over 500 pips. So heading into this week, same ideas come into play. Mapping out these key levels. Waiting for the clean break of that structure, whether it's to the top side or the downside. And overall looking for that pullback after the break of that structure for the overall continuation down. Keeping the previous market structure in mind and how price has previously reacted at the break of these key levels. Overall, here's my thoughts. Break of this top level for that retest, for that continuation up, and breaking this zone for that retest, for that overall move to target this next higher time frame support. So if you are trading Monday, here are my ideas going into Monday. The structural to the top side I'm looking to break is really that 34,920 area, and would be really targeting to the top side would be that 35,113 area, and the break of structure target to the downside would be 34,720 area. Again, rough analysis, 4-hour chart, higher time frame levels, super key levels in the market, whether price breaks or slips or respecs.